Take him! Take him!
A woman was sent by a realtor to clean what, at first glance, appeared to be an ordinary home. Strangely, it wasn't her first assignment there. She'd already been called in to tidy up after several tenants, each of whom had moved out unexpectedly. The realtor offered only a vague excuse. For some unexplained reason, no one ever stayed long, but he never revealed what really forced them to leave. One late night, as she worked in the unnerving stillness of the empty house, she was about to find out for herself.
Esta casa se ha limpiado muchísimas veces porque la gente no dura rentando. Rompe el contrato por una u otra cosa y tuvimos que venirla a limpiar el día de hoy porque ya mañana se van a mover. Se las quiero enseñar. Lo raro es que dice el realtor que no dura la gente. Esta casa se ha limpiado muchísimas veces porque rompe el contrato a la gente. Ay, no mames. Ya es noche. Estoy sola. Chingados está ahí. No hay nada. Esta pinche casa la han rentado un chingo de veces. Y no sé por qué rompe el contrato a la gente. No, déjenme regresar, sí, porque me dio cosas a la pinche puerta.
While dusting near a dimly lit hallway, she stopped dead in her tracks when a door slowly creaked open on its own. The hallway beyond stood empty, yet the suffocating silence made the moment feel far more sinister. Swallowing her fear, she pushed herself to continue, inching closer to a pitch-black room at the end of the corridor, a space that seemed to hum with an unseen presence waiting in the dark.
¿Te imaginas? Para que la gente rompa el contrato acá, es porque de plano no aguantan a vivir aquí. Y ahorita les voy a enseñar lo demás para allá. Déjenme prender la luz. ¿Dónde está la luz acá? Chingada madre. Ahí está. Ok, ahorita les voy a enseñar. Esta es una recámara. Se está poniendo ahorita tenso. Entonces, el Señor dice que ya van varias familias que rompen el contrato.
Soon, the silence was broken by faint, eerie sounds drifting through the house, soft shuffles and barely audible whispers that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Drawn by a mixture of terror and curiosity, she followed the noises, unaware she was walking straight towards something that would haunt her memory forever.
Ya me está dando cosa. Se escucha el ruido para acá. No sé qué sea. Escucha mucho ruido. Yo creo que me voy a tener que ir.
As her eyes slowly adjusted to the shadows within the room, she was horrified to see a dark, crouched figure lurking in the corner, still, yet unmistakably there. Panic surged through her, and instinct screamed for her to run, but she stood frozen, paralyzed for a single, agonizing heartbeat.
Tengo que ir a apagar la luz de ella porque se está poniendo ya. Ay, no. Creo que voy a regresar mañana mejor. Ya me voy a la chingada. Esa pinche luz, la de acá la tengo que apagar.
Then, with startling force, another door slammed open as if demanding she leave. That was all the warning she needed. She turned and fled the house without looking back. Only afterward did she fully understand why every tenant before her had vanished in fear. The home felt unmistakably haunted, its secrets hidden until it was far too late. Do you think this house is truly cursed? Share your thoughts down below. A TikTok creator named Jay Alivis recently shared a genuinely chilling video filmed inside a hospital's emergency ward. And once you see it, it's easy to understand why anyone there might find it impossible to rest. Thankfully, no one was physically harmed during the bizarre event, But what the camera captured next takes the fear to a whole new level. Picture this. A heavy hospital chair suddenly slides smoothly across the room, as if guided by an invisible force, traveling from one end to the other. At first glance, some viewers suggested it might have been caused by a draft, especially since the curtains do move slightly in the background. But could a simple breeze really shift such a solid, weighty object and make it stop so deliberately, right in a specific spot? The unsettling precision of its movement seems to hint at something much more sinister than mere air currents.
Still haven't found nothing in this place. Oh shit.
Take him! Take him!
Thousands of viewers rushed to comment on Jay's post, convinced they'd just seen real evidence of paranormal activity or a haunting caught on tape. But what's your take on this eerie clip? Share your theories in the comments below. And if stories of ghostly encounters and unexplained events fascinate you, be sure to follow Jay on TikTok for even more spine-tingling content. This chilling footage was captured by a night shift security guard assigned to patrol a seemingly quiet corporate complex. At exactly 2:15 a.m., his routine was shattered by a frantic radio call from the CCTV room. A strange figure had appeared just outside the building. Without hesitation, he was ordered to investigate, stepping into the darkness with only his flashlight and mounting dread. As he cautiously approached the location, he found nothing but eerie emptiness. The air felt heavy and charged, yet there was no sign of movement. But just moments later, something truly terrifying unfolded that would leave him frozen in fear. Peering over the wall, the guard seemed to lock eyes on something beyond the camera's reach. His body jerked violently as terror overtook him, forcing him to duck and hide behind the wall, desperate to escape whatever he'd just witnessed. Within seconds, a pair of pale, disembodied legs suddenly darted across the edge of the property, an even more horrifying sight when you realize they appeared to rise straight from the pitch-black waters of a nearby lake. The most chilling question remains: what kind of entity emerges from dark water at 2:15 a.m.? Overcome by raw terror, the guard abandoned his patrol entirely, retreating to the safety of the building. Had it been a person, his reaction would have been different, calm, cautious, maybe even confrontational. Instead, his fear points to something far more unsettling. Like so many ghostly encounters caught on camera, this mysterious sighting remains unsolved, leaving viewers to wonder what truly crawled out of the lake's depths that night. On the quiet outskirts of Chile's bustling capital stands a long abandoned house, untouched and avoided by locals for years. While visitors might not understand why at first glance, the chilling story behind its crumbling walls quickly explains everything. Decades ago, a family of 3 was brutally murdered inside by a ruthless gang, an act of violence so horrific it left a permanent stain on the property's history. Ever since, the house has been surrounded by whispers of an unsettling haunting. Inside, doors slam shut as if driven by an unseen rage, and objects are violently thrown from shelves by invisible forces. The atmosphere itself feels thick with a suffocating, malevolent presence, as though the air resists every breath. From relentless poltergeist activity to shadows shifting where no one stands, this forsaken house seems to magnify every classic haunting into something darker and far more aggressive. For skeptics, seeing is often believing, and in a place marked by tragedy and bloodshed, it's no wonder the restless spirits are said to remain, fueled by anger and sorrow, an eternal reminder that some places refuse to forget. Serena, a devoted mother of 2 young children, had just finished the nightly routine of tucking them into bed after yet another exhausting day. She finally sank into the couch, craving nothing more than a brief moment of quiet to watch some television and unwind. But fate had far darker plans in store. A restless poltergeist, it seemed, was determined to turn her peaceful evening into a terrifying ordeal. It all began with strange, unsettling noises echoing from somewhere below, loud enough to jolt her daughter awake, though her son somehow kept sleeping through the racket. Serena's initial annoyance quickly turned to a creeping dread as she made her way downstairs to investigate the source of the disturbance. What she found was nothing short of horrifying. Chairs in a hidden room were flinging and shifting violently, as if hurled by unseen hands. The chaotic scene felt like something straight out of a nightmare. Serena and her daughter, both shaken to the core, clung to each other in fear, forced to spend the rest of the night sleepless and on edge. With their home under siege from something they couldn't see or understand, they were left terrified and unsure how to protect themselves from the unseen force tormenting them. Share your thoughts and theories about this chilling haunting in the comments below. Bruno and his wife, Soraya, were finally settling in for what should have been a rare, peaceful evening at home. With their 3 lively kids away at camp with the local scout troop, the house felt unusually calm, a silence they hadn't enjoyed in years. Soraya absent-mindedly spun their son's toy skateboard on the dining table, while Bruno, ever indecisive, scrolled endlessly through horror movies, struggling to pick just one. Then, just as he was about to press play, something terrifying shattered their quiet night.
¡Bruno! ¡Bruno! Se movió la silla.
¿Leal?
Sí.
De las Jores.
Tipo, es de Arquiteta.
De las Jores.
Out of nowhere, the room exploded into chaotic, unexplained motion that made Soraya recoil in shock. Heart-pounding, she called out to Bruno, hoping he could do something, anything, to stop whatever unseen force had taken hold. But Bruno could only stare, frozen in place, just as horrified and helpless as she was, as the invisible presence unleashed its fury around them. Even now, no one knows for sure what really haunted them that night. And with so few details emerging afterward, we're left to imagine what other horrors might have unfolded in that dark, silent home once the recording cut to black.